Friends, today we will discuss the relationship of values and human rights. Values play a very vital role in the development of human rights, and they are one of the important ingredients of human rights education. Well, in this lecture, we will examine what is a value and how it is categorized in a particular situation, and what is the relationship between value and human rights education, and is value education will prosper human rights, or philosophically values and human rights have the same line of approach in augmenting the human rights and necessities. These are the important issues that how human rights education will deal, and how values can shape various perspectives of norms, and how norms will turn into rules, and how rules and norms and values turn into a legal perspective. This is the most important background perspective of human rights and human rights education. And normally, people think human rights education means only studying the statutes, conventions, legislations, judicial decisions and analyzing them is human rights education. But in the last lecture, as we discussed, the United Nations made it very clear that human rights education is something beyond the purview to deal with the socio-economic, cultural perspectives which need to be brought in under various issues and percepts, because human rights is a big area in which microscopic areas need to be dealt in, for which values, dignity and various other perspectives of morals all will play a vital role in building the society, which in turn will build the norms, and the norms will build in the legal perspectives. So, for legal development, all these percepts have to be dealt in and to be seen with respect to various parameters, how they are going to develop into the various issues. So, as the professors made it, if we look into value as a categorical question or with a particular question, where values and actions of people thinking with respect to particular situation. Well, then when we look into values, values of various types which can be dealt in, and value should not be taken only when a particular perspective. It can be taken in three aspects at least majorly, because in philosophical dimensions, the philosophers will give you various issues and various percepts of value. But when we deal with the value and value perception is considered, well, value need to be taken from different dimension and different perspective. So, values are personal, moral, aesthetic. That means in personal values which are individual, of the individualistic perspective with respect to his family, himself, and what is his structure or what is his character in a family. And other values may depend upon your success, your perceptions, and how to achieve these aspects, because sometimes people think that goal is a value. Well, goal is not a value, goal is only a parameter for which you have to set certain values, how to achieve the goal. This is the main perception of personal value. That means, when value is taken with the moral and aesthetic perspectives, it is ideas that the general conception or orientation that deals with the various perspectives, that how values will play a vital role in the human life, concerned with one's life and standard of his behavior and one's judgment what is important in life. These are the important parameters in value. If it is spoken as a noun, if we speak value as a verb, it speaks something in a very high esteem. That high esteem need to be taken into various perspectives, that what a person's belief is a particular perspective. Suppose if we say this is good, what is good, what is bad. So, when we look into the various perspectives of it, then we have to think of value is nothing but an aspiration that to be taken into consideration. Suppose the famous sociologist R.K. Mukherjee has said that values are socially approved desires and goals that are intentional or internalized through the process of conditioning, learning or socialization, that becomes a preference of subjective value and standard aspirations. What are standard aspirations? I want to become an IAS officer, that is your goal. But to achieve or become an IAS officer, one need to follow certain values and various perspectives, your behavior, conduct, study, interaction, all these are considered as values that are shared within the idea. And if this idea is taken, your desirability, your worth or your goodness will be taken into consideration. That means the attitude of the person to deal with the various perspectives. Then when we deal with these aspects, then character of value will be coming in. What is the character? That means value differ from culture to culture. Something which may be good in one particular society may be bad in another particular society. So, how we have to measure that cultural difference with respect to values are considered, and how are we going to deal with the value perception and deal with, that means values have to be dealt with respect to emphasizing various issues. So, something that is been taught in a particular perspective in the same society at a particular point of time, how that differ in the present era or in the future era. So, taking this, value based education when was introduced by the government of India through the textbooks of NCERT, it was challenged before the Supreme Court of India that values cannot be part of education. So, the Supreme Court in Mrs. Santosh Singh versus Union of India in 2016 in its judgment upholding the syllabi of NCERT, the Supreme Court said values play a very vital role. For example, if we take environmental jurisprudence, which is very important, how do you protect environment? Throwing dust into the street or into the sea or into the other perspective is a value or a norm. It is both a value and a norm, because when we eat everything, we enjoy the sea, that is aesthetic value that we get in from enjoying the nature. But when we eat something and throw into the sea, which may be good for you, but it is bad in the longer run or in the societal perspective, which is a value which can consider, because throwing something into the sea will spoil the health of the sea, will spoil the living resources, non-living resources which are value based, for which norms will be developed, law will be developed and jurisprudential perspective will be taken. That means from a young age, what is the various perspectives and that are dealt, because values are part of intrinsic value of liberty, equality and dignity of the individual. When these perspectives are interrelated, well, value plays a very vital role. Then values are various types if we look in, but for easy understanding from the human rights perspective, I will make value only into two perspectives, that is individual and collective. Individualistic value means value which differs with respect to the behavioral pattern or individual perspective of an individual, like honesty, loyalty, honor, dignity, decency. These are all values that affect only an individual perspective is considered. Collective values means values that are linked with the entire society or social perspective or collective. That means here we think of the solidarity of the community, we think of the norms, equality, justice, solidarity, sociableness, which are called as collective values. When we discuss the rights perspective, human rights perspective, you can see the linkage of this with the individual and society perspective of rights. Because when we think of these aspects, when the society level is considered, the expression ultimately ends and goals, purposes of the social action will be taken into consideration. Suppose cutting the trees, it may be a general norm for an individual, don't cut a tree, but cutting the tree by en masse or bulk, a movement which has been taken like Chipko movement, is a social value that brings in, or any other type of value that we take, drive away corruption from politics. It is a collective value where people have to think of in political situation or social situation, and various other situations can be taken. So, values have a major behavior pattern, promote culture and various other perspectives. And if we look into the functions of values, these are the basic perspectives. If we look into the functional perspective, and the basic values or human values are linked in, because value may play a vital role in the fulfillment of the man's basic ideas or impulses or his desires. But if I have a desire, I want to become a millionaire, but there are good and bad ways are there to become a millionaire. I have to work hard, struggle hard, go legally, and a methodological perspective is a good value to reach my goal of becoming a millionaire. I do all kinds of corruptive practices, not following the rules and not adopting any synchronized perspective accepted by the society, that is a bad value. So, one has to describe the function of value, gives you what should be need from the individualistic responsibility. Suppose if we say that the environment should be preserved, then it is a collective value in which individual also has a social response, social responsibility to deal with various perspectives. So, if we take human values, well, as we said the various aspects, first of all we say honesty, how honest you are, and honesty what it fetches. Well, truthfulness, honest, which may not give you a satisfaction or a goal to be achieved in the near future, but in the longer run they will definitely lead you to deal with the honesty perspective will help you, and you are rewarded for something which you have done for your honesty, which may take a longer bit of time, but the value helps you to do what you want to do. Then goodness and kind to others or to the society. This is another value. How good you are, how kind you are to the society, and how you are going to deal with the various perspectives in discharging. If somebody is poor, so I show some money to given to him, you may think that this is a value for you, but I may think it is not a value, it is something else. Why? Because in the social longer run, giving 10 rupees maybe you think that it is a good value, but at the same time other person may think that it is not a good value, because in other person's mind or in other person's value, he wants to integrate and develop the society further. That means he wants to say that instead of giving 10 rupees to the person to fill up his hungriness, I would like to provide a sustainable solution in the longer run, that he should not feel hungry at all. So, this is what the perspective, or that means that depends upon the personality, capacity in which a person has been dealt in. Then truth, as I told you, truth always plays a very vital role. So, in our philosophical perspective, if we take it, the father of the nation Mahatma Gandhi said, truth alone prevails at any point of time your value system. And he said, whatever it may be, don't leave your truth. Well, speaking truth, adopting truth, following truth may be difficult, but by following that, what we will try to achieve is that we can develop the perceptions and shape the society in such manner which can be a value based, or love to thyself and to others. This is what all religious texts say. First you love yourself, that is the first value. If you won't love yourself, that means your family, your children, your wife, your near ones, then you will able to love others also. But if I want to love myself, as the philosophical perspective says, if I myself doesn't love, if I myself oriented towards love, then how can I love others? Then haterism or negativism or negativist thinking that developed in my mind definitely will help others mentality towards you. If you are a lovable person, if you are a person who can influence the behavior in evaluating other actors of the society, one can do. Then loyalty. Loyalty to whom? Loyalty not to power, loyalty to the work that we do. Loyalty to the honesty, loyalty to yourself is loyalty to service to the society. Then emotions. We as a human being have different kinds of emotions. As a father, as an employer, as an employee, or as an administrator, I have different kinds of emotions that to be expressed. We should not mix the emotions, or we should not think the emotional perspective that a person's behavior with this is always that. Suppose if I am a senior officer, I behaved in such a fashion. When I come to the society as a father or as a human being of the society, my behavior may be different. So, you cannot link the emotional perspective of a person with the power and position always, or with the natural perspectives. That means everybody have different kinds of roles to play in a social life, and that social life should be for a good contextual perspective that need to be taken. That will lead to cultural living. That means moving with people in a friendly manner, understanding the problems of the society, understanding the problems of the rich, poor, different sectors of people in the society will lead us to deal with it. All will lead to peace. This is the main aim and idea of human rights, because human rights have taken birth in international law. And the aim of international law is to have peace and security to humankind. That is the biggest value that law itself has fixed it. So, to achieve that law, we have a very great perspective to be dealt in and to deal with the various perspectives which we have to. Then when we look after this, then we have to think value, as I discussed in the beginning, link with norm. What is a norm? Because norm is a reflection of evaluative belief. How you behave, what your motive, what your action, and where that needs to be the desirability of behavior, restricted desirability of behavior or unrestricted desirability of behavior. These are the aspects that to be taken, because norm is part of acceptability of the behavior. Norm regulates the behavioral perspective of the individual. As Gibbs made it very clear long back, a norm indicates the degree to which the behavior is regarded as a right or versus a wrong. So, when we have a debate versus good and bad, we have a debate about wrong and right also. So, what is allowable, what is unallowable? what is practicable, what is non-practicable. So, these are the criteria that are specified in the rule of a behavior, which indicates which is ought to be, which is ought not to be. That means this may be right, this may be wrong. So, norms are considered as reflection of values that are synchronized with the individual in the behavioral pattern. That means norm is directly linked to a particular type of action and a situation. For example, if we say killing of human being is generally not acceptable, except in war, because war, the main aim is to use your weapon to kill the enemy. But self defense, when I use, when somebody is trying to kill me, and my self defense I may kill somebody, well, whether it is right or wrong, this is what law deals, particularly in criminal law. Under the Indian Penal Code, it says culpable homicide amounting to murder, not amounting to murder. That means when somebody tries to attack me, in the preservation of my dignity, my life, people depending on me, thinking that suppose I use a pistol to kill somebody, then the circumstances in which I have used the pistol to kill somebody to protect myself from an unwanted incident is acceptable value or not, and this value is depending on the behavior that I have decided or not, which norm describes. So, norm links with a particular situation, whether it is a self defense or not, or any other perception. Normally, in international law of human rights does not permit killing any human being, because the human perception or the legal perception is developed on natural law. Natural law says as a human being when you are born, which is not in your control. So, your death is also not in your control, but for the regulation of behavior, we have introduced certain aspects like capital punishment. So, that we say legally norm bound because of the behavior which a person has behaved. If he has not been killed, then others may follow that may become a bad value. But human rights say that is also bad, that is not also an acceptable norm and are not a good value, because the ICCPR, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Protocol 2 says death sentence is abolished. What it says, you try to reform the person and inculcate what is good, why that death punishment should not be given. Even euthanasia, nowadays people argue as a value based, when a person is almost in the potato stage to death, when there is no question of revival of his health, then you can give an injection and kill him. But human rights philosophy oppose that. What they say is that human rights developed on various perspectives that have been developed. Then when we go into values and norms, we have to link what is the reflectant and what is the difference between a norm and a value. Values are beliefs, a set of beliefs that individual possess or society possess, and how to behave and how to deal with the norms and values. Norms are unwritten, they are unwritten law of the society. When they transform, and this is otherwise called as custom, usage and custom, when the customary principle is accepted by the society, by the majority of the society, followed for a longer period of time, then that will definitely turn into a legal principle. That means norms are floated in the society for the decision making, for the development of the society, how values and individuals can deal in difficult situations and test the various perspectives of the reflection of these norms and behavior, and what is the mind and the individual, and the building the value system in the individual will be taken into consideration. When these are taken into consideration, then norms slowly evolve after social acceptance as a specific guide, and how values guide with respect to the direct indirect guidance of the individuals. When these things are taken into consideration, then norms and values, that means values brings with respect to the kind of adjustment amongst the individual behavior, that is norm, and then these two tested, and when these two are tested they become part of law, then they crystallize into a right which will confer. Then when we deal with these aspects, then we deal with what is the relationship between human rights and values, because we are talking relationship between human rights and values. Many people think that rights and values are seems there is a close relationship between them, and it is the knowledge, skills, values, beliefs, attitudes, action, all this is a composition. That is what human rights education deals. Why? Because Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights made it very clear that we are all born free. That is true from any natural perspective. Nobody has ordained or restrained our birth or death. So, we are born. So, when we born, we are all equal. There is no discrimination of rich, poor, upper caste, lower caste or any other perspective. We are all equal. When we born as an individual as an equal capacity, we have the equal rights, we have the equal dignity in every perspective. But it all depends upon the reason, the conscience, and how we act, how we deal with. Because it says on the common brotherhood. So, the common brotherhood is the most important principle that is been inculcated in human rights, and the same has been inculcated even in our Indian constitution. Speaking on the value system is considered, the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly, even Babasaheb Ambedkar, Dr. Bharat B.R. Ambedkar also said it is the common brotherhood that will able to achieve the values that are planted in the society. That means values and rights coincide, and caring for various groups and various aspects and how various perceptions are dealt in. For example, it is a common belief in the society that if a child is born, that until the child grows up to a particular stage, since I am feeding the child, I have every right on the child. That is wrong legally. I can't beat a child. I can only show the path in a behavioral perspective that can change the behavior. But normally what we do at home, what we find in a street or home or anywhere in the society is that a mother, a father, an elder slaps the child. Do you have the right to beat? You don't have a right to beat, because the child also is an equal person, you are also equal person. It is equality that specifies. That means these values that are enjoined and compiled with various perspectives, they embrace the situation, deals with various aspects which ontological studies and study of growth and other things have taken. Because values, again like customary principles, deeply ingrained into the society, the part and parcel of the society. So, with the time requires to change, we need to patiently wait for a particular value to be changed. Before the Dowry Prohibition Act came into existence, We used to consider dowry is a value which should be given to the daughter by the parents to see that the burden of the taken care by the husband should be at least substantiated to some extent. But when the concept of dowry originally whatever it is evaluated or evolved has changed its perception, became a bad motive, then law has started saying that this is not a good value. Now the perception, knowledge, thinking, belief and attitude of the people has changed. So the action is different. Now today if you give dowry, if you insist for dowry, if you take a dowry, it is not a value, it is a wrong motive. So the value has been now turned basing on the beliefs, attitudes and action perspective. So value attached to the group or to the societies, it is all deals with various perspectives. That means today if you ask for dowry, if a poor man is there who cannot give dowry, and if you insist for dowry, it is taken in a different perspective, because in the olden days we didn't consider, we only consider that my daughter is going to somebody's house. So the burden of mine is shared by somebody, so I am giving dowry. But today with the development of science and technology, knowledge, brain and other things, we started thinking, why are you thinking that way? The wife who does the service for the maintenance of the family, upbringing of this family, is also to be measured financially. If that is measured, then that should be valued. When that is valued, why dowry? It is not burden. It is she is sacrificing her individuality, her life for the upbringing of the family. So that is also a good value. But none that is to be considered, then why money should be paid? All are equal. So it is equality that needs, family needs many other things. So dowry prohibition, from a different perspective we started thinking and aspecting that dowry is wrong. So values synchronizes and deals with the various perspectives, and that all deals with the various aspects. So learning about human rights, which includes provoking the knowledge of understanding human rights norms, principles, values that underpin and the mechanisms that have been developed under the human rights education, both regionally, locally, nationally, internationally. Both are why I used because it is nationally, internationally, but subcategories are there. Hence locally, regionally, nationally, internationally. From if we talk from international perspective, internationally, regionally, nationally, locally. So this is the dimensional perspective in which we think the value perspective, and value main object of human rights is to empower every person, physically, morally, ethically, legally, in every perspective they want, because they are equal to all. So human rights establish human values as well as universal values. What is a human? What is his value? What is the universal value, and why he needs a protection promotion? In the olden days, killing an animal used to be considered as a hobby, as a value. But today with the development of mind, maturity, everything, we consider killing an animal is also a crime. So human rights say, human rights are not applicable only to human beings, as I said in the first lecture. It is applicable to both all living creatures, including non-living creatures, that is states or corporates, called as legal persons, they too have their rights. A corporation right cannot be violated with respect to revealing of secrecy, that is corporative secrecy, which is corporative value, that cannot be taken away. So human rights today in their expansionist jurisprudence are called as group rights. They cover individual rights, societal rights and state rights, and all who are part of the nature. They are in a way an expansion of natural jurisprudence, natural perspective. That is why the civil and political rights tries to put value, culture, responsibility. The economic and social rights talks of the society, role of the individual, individual perspective and all other perspectives. So, taking these values, the human rights education all through in its saga until the Millennium Development Goals that were declared in the year 2000 are nothing but values and inculcation of various perspectives that need to be taken into consideration. Hence, friends, if we look into the value perception are considered, this brief examination, I have not gone into the philosophical perspectives, cutting edges of values, because there are various aspects of their value with respect to money, value with respect to individual, all those I have not taken into consideration. I have given only a general brief understanding to understand what is the nature of value, what are the types of values, what is the role of the individual in the value, and how human rights work in promoting values are considered, and what is the duty of the individual towards another individual, and what is the role of individual towards the particular institution, and how the institutions and the individuals together will frame their duty towards the state, and how the state and the legal persons, non-legal persons, all living creatures, non-living aspects adopt the various methodologies of human rights. And without dealing with much of the value perceptions which may vary from society to society, which are equivalent to various percepts, have been taken into consideration. There are maybe controversial perspectives may be there, but we do not want to go into that, and just to give the basic understanding why we have to study the values while studying human rights, and what is the significance of value based education, and all these perceptions taken into consideration, and accordingly I would like to place that value is synchronized from group, norm and various other perspectives, which will ultimately promote what we talk life and liberty always. So, that life and liberty, dignity, all these perspectives will bring in with respect to various aspects of human rights are considered. That is the reason why in the human rights education program of my university, that is Savitribai Phule Pune University, we have made values is the very important perspective. Because if we see the vision, human rights education is the recognition of inherent dignity. Every person has a dignity, and that dignity need to be protected, and every person is equal, and that perspective they are inalienable. That means they are part of the body of the human being. That need not be given by any law or by any legislation. As an individual, as a person, I have. That is why to achieve that without any discrimination and create a society with respect, and to wipe out the tears from every eye, that is from the poor to the rich, everybody may have problems. So, all problems, every eye, and make everybody happy and to live peace. That is the important. Live in peace is a very important perspective. For that perspective, the vision of the human rights education program is to see that the students once inculcate these values, try to experiment these values within their own subject to the society. You need not promote, everybody cannot be a law student or a law scholar. So, if you study chemistry, physics, biology, botany, zoology, business, whatever it may be, you link these value system in your subject and see that the prism of the subject and your values and human rights, to what extent they can help and motivate the society through your subject, and see that these aspects. So, that is the mission. In that mission will help to bring a democratic reform and bring the national, international perspectives for which human rights education has been advocated, will definitely promote and try to bring for the further upliftment and development of the society in most nationally and internationally, and make our life peaceful. To this purpose, with these aspects, we have discussed value as one important perspective. In the next lecture, we will see dignity, how it is important as a part of human rights. Why these concepts are analyzed in a brief perception before going into human rights, and what are human rights, what are the types of rights, what are the various aspects of socio-economic, cultural, civil, political rights, role of institutions, that we have developed in the 3 course books. The first limited lectures have been providing a platform to the student to understand each perception, why they should study these aspects, what is the importance of these aspects, and ultimately why they should study human rights education. In order to promote that, we have made this perception, and I thank you for your patient listening, and hope we will meet soon with the next part, that is dignity as another important concept of human rights. Then we will discuss liberty, then we will discuss equality, then we will enter into the purview of legal purview of human rights and human rights paradigms and the paradoxical principles that have developed in human rights education. Friends, thank you all once again. Thank you. We will meet soon.